Depends on the woman, I guess. I think I like to think of myself as well balanced between sensitive and, numb.
I think there's a level to it. There's no need to be always on my face. You don't need to be here every time. I don't need to call you every 5 seconds and you answer your phone. Be busy, do something.
I can't really speak for women, but I mean, yes, sensitive, but keep it cool.
We ask if a man is still attractive when he's sensitive, as if we are discussing a fashion choice. But underneath the question of attractiveness lies a deeper, messier reality. Can a man be fully human and safe in a relationship?
How does a man's sensitivity affect relationships? Like, is he still attractive if he's sensitive?
Yes. It is. I think it is. It's helpful because you don't want to be in a relationship with someone who does not have any sensitivity or any sort of emotional bandwidth, because then we're not robots. So I think it is necessary. And also because I feel like guys aren't even that super vulnerable around each other as guys. So like, where are you gonna be vulnerable?
Yeah, he can be attractive depending on what the woman wants. If a woman wants a nonchalant man, like the guy who doesn't even care or acts like he's heartless and emotionless, that's cool. But the sensitive guy is a much more productive and developmental guy because he's active to what's happening around him and he knows how to communicate and express his feelings.
I do think so. I think everyone has something that they find attractive, and that is different to the next person. So sensitivity is important because I think it keeps you in touch with being human, with being real, with being authentic and original. And the minute you cut that side off, you become a programmed entity, you know what I mean? I think sensitivity allows you to grow. You feel things, you react to things, you see that this reaction wasn't so good and I can improve it this way, or you see someone else's type of sensitivity and you're like, wait, I could absorb that reaction and grow myself as a person.
It's your right to be sensitive, right? But then if you can communicate about your sensitivity or in your sensitivity, whilst you're being empathetic to yourself, I think it's good, because sometimes people get carried away in expressing themselves, forgetting that in as much as you feel the way you do, someone doesn't see things from your perspective.
That's the theory, that sensitivity is a right. But in the corners of a relationship, there comes a small little voice. Sometimes the man's, sometimes the woman's. That small little voice, it says vulnerability is a trap.
How does a man's sensitivity affect relationships? In the sense, like, if he's still sensitive, do you think he's still attractive?
I feel like if a nigga is too open, yeah, the female starts treating him like a. Women expect so much from gents, right? Well, I'm giving it from my point of view, right? I feel like women, like you said, they want too much, yeah, they're asking for too much, yeah, but they don't know what they're gonna do with that information afterwards. Yeah. Some people don't even know how to react or act or whatever, right? So they start treating you differently because you opened up too much, yeah, and you're just like, but that's what you want.
I think so. A huge part of who I am is based on sensitivity, and I lead with that in more places than normal, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
So do you incorporate like sensitivity in like your magazine and stuff?
Because I mean, for you to be able to have an interview with someone, they need to be completely themselves and so comfortable that should they tell you something, you can have the ability to carry it with grace and translate it onto paper in the same way. So if I fall apart and I start crying right now, you should be comfortable with my tears enough for us to continue this interview. So it's, for me, sensitivity is like really.
I don't want to speak on behalf of the ladies, but my anecdotal experience has been the more sensitive a guy is, the more it's frowned upon. It's like they expect you to find the perfect balance of sensitivity. Because everyone's like, no, it's okay for men to cry, and then they actually start crying, and then it's a whole thing.
I'll never cry in front of my girl. And I told her.
You can't, yeah. You know, as a man, even if someone tells you it's okay, you yourself have the voice in your head that tells you you can't cry. You can't do that.
Being as masculine as possible will put you on the safe side.
So
She's not looking for a bestie, she's looking for a man. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, there's the odd case, but there's some prerequisites that are standard from time immemorial. But at the same time, you have to jump certain hoops in order to be comfortable with other things. But when it comes to first impressions, keep some stuff to yourself.
how does a man's sensitivity affect relationships? Like, is he still attractive if he's sensitive?
I think we live in a very toxic environment, especially for the boy child. Because I'm going back to the boy child because you find some people telling a 3-year-old to be a man. At the age of 3, children are just toddlers. Toddlers are just tiny human beings who are curious about everything. They don't know what being a man, what being a woman is. So why I'm starting from that stage where you tell a toddler to be a man, to behave like a man. That's why you get a 40-year-old man behaving in a certain way and you say they are having midlife crisis. It's the inner child that was oppressed and suppressed. That is only coming out. It has nothing to do with being aged in a certain way. You'll have someone going through that in their 60s. The inner child needs to be addressed. So it's okay for everyone to be sensitive because we all have emotions, we all feel. And we shouldn't feel some type of way because a man has expressed how he feels about something. If we are going to react in a certain way, men should also react if we express our emotions because that's how we are acting towards each other.
I just think this issue of like sensitivity just tends to be, it's very misunderstood because sometimes when guys are more vulnerable, people just like, it's almost seen as weakness.
And I think it's also the term sensitivity. What are we saying? If it's a woman, she's not being sensitive. But if it's a man, you are oversensitive. What does that mean? It's a negative. It now has negative connotations because we feel pain the same way. We may process it differently because of our upbringing, but we feel the same way.
How does a man's sensitivity affect relationships? Like, is he still attractive if he is sensitive?
Yes. Why wouldn't he be attractive if he's sensitive?
Because sensitivity kind of, I don't know, for me sensitivity like shows vulnerability.
Yes. Are we not in this to be vulnerable together?
Yeah, I feel like it's a good thing. I'm not saying, do it all the time or
To be vulnerable too soon, but being vulnerable is showing someone who you are, letting them be. So I feel like, yeah, if someone tells you that you being vulnerable is not okay, you need to just leave. Because what do they want then?
So if he knows how to communicate his feelings and his emotions in that sensitivity, yes. Because the goal is for you to know how your partner feels. You are sensitive, yes. What's affecting you right now? What's triggering you right now? So if you're able to communicate your triggers and your feelings, we're good to go. I would prefer that than someone who's just quiet.
Depends on what type of woman you have. If you have a toxic woman who believes with you and not showing emotion, then she'll not accept you being able to be vulnerable. Probably because she'll be like, oh no, men don't do that. But well, guess what, ladies? Men do that. You just don't see it because that's what you say. But if you find a woman who's emotionally mature, they'll understand that you're a human being and you've been through things. So it can either lead to a better relationship or shittier relationship. But if it's shittier, she wasn't doing it. It's that simple.
Sensitivity doesn't make a man less of a pillar. It just makes the pillar glass. So it's a bit fragile in some places, but it's still very strong. The only difference is it refuses to hide what's on the inside. Maybe the most attractive thing a man can be is honest.